Okay, let's get started. So today we'll talk about list.
Yeah.
What is a list? List is a collection. Okay, collection means it can have more than one value. Okay, so if you ask me how, so let's say I define a list. I call it as L1, and L1 will have values like let's say 21. Hello. Okay. You can have true, okay. You can have whatever, right? You can have complex, you can have Boolean. All these values are allowed. Okay, so L1 has become a collection of 4 values here. And how do you know it's a
Mm.
list? You know it is a list because it has a square bracket. We have seen square bracket last time as well. Why was square bracket used? Square bracket was used for indexing,
Indexing.
correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
So how do you know that this is not an indexing, but it says list?
It has commas.
It has commas, but it can have a single value also, right? It can have a bracket of 2 or
Yeah.
21. In this case, you can have only 1 or 21. See, when you're doing indexing, you will have variable name and then the list. When I put something like this, that means it is a indexing. But when you have square bracket independent,
Okay.
that means it is
It's a
a
list.
list. Yes. You can have an empty list as well. You can have an empty list. I can call it as L1 equal to only square bracket. If you say print type of L1 and when you run it, okay, you get list. Okay. So this is about working with the list. Now, what you see here is list can have only one dimensional, or we call it as linear. Okay. Linear collection. Okay. So list is a linear collection and the position of 21 is
0.
0. Yes. Hello is
1.
1. So if I say print L1 of -1, L1 square bracket. I told you indexing is always square bracket.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter it is string or whatever. Okay, it is always square bracket. Now you tell me if I create a square bracket -1, what is the value of what is the value of L1 of -1?
5.4.
5.4, right? So that
Yeah.
means it is automatically it has got order also, right? Which is 0, 1, 2, right? So that's why okay, we call this as linear ordered collection. Okay.
Uh,
So it is linear because it is one dimensional. Okay. It is ordered because okay, the elements when you add them in a list, it takes its position. It takes its position seriously, right? So
mhm.
so when you want to add something at first position, you cannot add anywhere. You have to add it at first position. Only then it will come to know that it is for
Mm.
first position,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what we call it as a linear ordered collection. Okay, now indexing is exactly so I'm not going to repeat it. Print of -1 will give you last element. Print of L1 of 1:3 will give you element 1
Element.
and 2. So you should get hello and true, right? You get
Mhm.
hello and true. You can have a list within a list. So I can say L1 equal to, so last element, okay, is 0, 1, 2, 3, right?
Mhm.
So the size, okay, size of the list equal to len of L1. Okay, so when you say len of L1, you get 4, right? So the position of last one is 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. And you cannot change, I cannot increase it. I cannot say len1 of 4. The moment I say L1 of 4, L1 of 4 will give me error because it has only 3 elements, right?
Yeah.
But you can change the value. I want to add, or I want to change 5.4 to a list of values. So I can say here L1 of -1 or 3 equal to, I'll put a list here. I can say 5.4, 6.9, 8.0, I can add multiple values. The moment you say list, it can add multiple values. Now, if you print L1, from beginning till the end, so you see, you get 21 hello true, and this entire thing as a list is added here. So list can have list, and you can edit the value of the list. I can say L1 of this was not possible in string.
Yeah.
You cannot take an element position and delete it. But here you can, and that's what we say here, that it is a mutable. Your strings are immutable. Your strings are immutable, but lists are mutable. It's a mutable linear ordered collection. That's what list is. Okay. And as I said, you can add the element. Okay. It is mutable, so you can keep on adding element. Okay. And we'll talk about how to add, because we'll talk about functions just like we had functions in string. We'll have functions here also. We'll see that. But before that, let's understand few other properties. So you can iterate through list. So for loop, when we are doing loops, we did only with range. Then later, we in strings also we saw that you can iterate through a string, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now you
Yeah.
can iterate through list as well. So if this is the list, I can say for I in L1. For I in L1, print I. For I in L1, print I. Okay. So for I in L1, print I. Right? Now when I run it, you see, okay, let me put something like this here. Print iterating over a list. And I'll say here, iterating over a list, done. That means whatever is between these two statements are from for loop. So you see here, iterating over a list, 21 hello true, and then this entire thing is one value. Okay. Now in this case, since the last element is a list, I can even say, print L1 of -1. Now when I say L1 of -1, you get entire this thing, correct?
Yeah.
Now
Yes.
L1 of -1, and I can say here 1. You see this, you can replace this with A, let's say. I can say A equal to this. And then what is, so A equal to this means this is what is A, right?
Yeah.
This is another list. So now if I say A of 1, what will you get? You will get 6.9,
Oh yeah.
right? 6.9, right? So remember here, each element, retains its own property. So again, if I say type of, print type of first element. Okay, so type of first element will be type of L1, sorry, type is a function. So type of L1 of 0. Now when I say type of L1 of 0, L1 of 0 is going to be your first element 21. I'm asking the data type of 21, which is integer.
Yeah.
So what I say is, this is like a team, when you
Mhm.
make a team of 5 people. Individually, they are different, isn't it? Individually, they have their own strength. Individually, they are different, they have their own strength. Okay. But when you combine them together, when you bring them as together as a team, then they get different power, superpower, right? So it's the same thing with the list. Individually, they are integer, float, string, or in this case, it is individually also it's a list. But when you put them together under square bracket, they become list. Okay. So
Yeah.
they are not losing their individual identities. They are not
Mm.
losing their individual identities, but together they get more power, right?
Okay.
Together they get more power, which is
Which is
the your um, which is your power of string or properties of list, not
yeah.
string, list, right? Talking about list, right? So you get
Right.
power of or the properties of list. You inherit the properties of list. What are the properties of list? Properties of list. Okay. So now
Mhm.
we'll talk about properties that are related to list. The first thing is you can add two lists together. Okay. You cannot add, see, you can add two integer together. And we have
Okay.
seen that we can add two string together, right? When you add two string together, it becomes one single string, correct? Similarly,
Yes.
if I say L2 equal to 4, 5, 6, and if I say L3 equal to, A, comma, B, comma, C, your print, or I can say L4 equal to
L,
L2 plus
L,
L3, and when you print L4, you get 4, 5, 6 ABC. Because we added 2 and 3, and 2 is on the left side. So values of 2 will be added together and followed by the values of 3. So when you add them, you get something like this.
okay.
Okay. So this is how you add two lists together. Now
Okay.
you can add or you can multiply. So if I say L2, or let me put like L5 here. L5 equal to L4 into 3. Now when I say L4 into 3, okay, L4 is,
L2 plus L3.
yes, 4, 5, 6 ABC. Then I'm multiplying with 3. So you get 4, 5, 6 ABC, 4, 5, 6 ABC, 4, 5, 6 ABC, right?
Okay.
Just like string, it got multiplied and the values in the list will get multiplied by that many numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is how you can multiply a list, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, with this basic, now let's get into the methods that we have. So methods of list here. So how do I get the methods of list? We'll use L2 only. Okay, we'll use L2 and we'll see. Okay, let me copy and paste here. So how do I access the methods of list?
L2 dot. Yes.
Dot, yes, L2 dot, and then you get these M methods. Count and value. Count value will tell you how many values are getting repeated in that. Then
Yeah.
index, very similar to string. Index, see, count and index we have in string also, and they do exactly the same work. Okay,
Okay.
so index also has the value and string start and stop. Value, start and stop. Okay, so you give the value and you give start and stop. It will tell you within that start and stop how many times it is repeating,
Okay.
right? So if I say here 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, okay, and 6, let's say. Now when I say count and I say 5, okay, print count of 5. You see this? You get 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Similarly, okay, if you okay, L2 dot index. I want the index, position number. Okay. So if I say index of 5, okay,
1,
or
2, 3.
6, let's say.
Okay.
Index of 6. Not count. Okay,
Okay.
index. So if I say index, index of 6. So what is the position? Where is it found? So right now, if I ask something like 7, okay, you'll get error
Yeah.
because it is not there. Exit code 1 error.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 7 not in the list. Correct? So
Mm-hmm.
first you have to find if 7 is in the list or not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can check the count. If count is more than 0, only then you'll perform index. Okay, so if I say something like search val equal to 7, and I'll say if, okay, L2 dot count of search val, okay, is greater than 0, then
Mm-hmm.
you perform index. Otherwise, there is no need to perform index.
Okay.
Okay, now when you run it, okay, you see, okay, 7, right? Okay, so 7 is not there, so we don't get anything because this condition becomes false. Now if I make it as 6, okay, then you will get 0, 1, 2 because position of first 6 is 2, right? Now you need to find position of second one. If you need to find the position of second one, okay,
Mm-hmm.
then you need to give something called as start and stop, right? So I
Yeah.
want it to start thinking from 3 to 5, let's say. If I say 3 to 5, okay, so
2.
no, wait, 0, 1, 2, 3, correct? So this
Yeah.
is 3, and then 3 to 5, I say 3, 4, 5, right? But it's still count of 2 is 2, right? But here, okay, you are not getting any value, correct? This is count, right? Else I can say print something is wrong. Okay, now let's run it. Something is wrong. Why something is wrong? I used L1, not L2. You see that mistake?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know how that happened. Okay, so see, index is 4. I said from 3 to 5. So 0, 1, 2 is gone. This is 3, 4, 5. In 3, 4, 5, the first position again is position 4, right? After 5.
Yeah.
Position
Yeah.
4. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why you got index 4 here.
Okay.
All right. So this is how your count and index work, which is very similar to, okay, what we've
String.
been doing so far. Yeah, string.
Yeah.
Now, now let's look at few more functions. Okay. Now, how do you add an element to existing list? Okay, so I will say L2 equal to 4, 5, 6. L2 equal to 4, 5, 6. Now I want to add to L2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want to add to L2. Now, how do I add to L2?
Create a list within the list.
Create, okay, now, so using programmatically, you have a method called as append and insert. Okay, append function will add at the end of the list. Okay, and insert to add at any given position. Okay, so I want to add, let's say 10 at the end of the list. So at the end of the list, I'll say print. Okay, no, before print, I'll do L2 dot append.
Append. Yeah.
Okay, and I'll say 10.
10.
Okay, L2. Now, when you print L2, see 10 got added at the end. So
Yeah.
append function will add at the end. Again, if I say 10, append 10, and then I'll say append 20, let's say. So now here 10 was the last element, here 20 became the last element.
Yeah.
So when you print it, you get 10 and then you get 20 here.
Okay.
Now let's say I want to add 8 at second position. That means index 1. I want 8 to be at index 2. So L2 dot insert. So insert takes index and the object. Index means where do you want to add, which index you want it to be, and object is the value that you want to add. So I said I want to add 8 at second position. Second position means index 1 and value 8. Correct? So now
Yeah.
when you print L2 and when you run it, so you see 8 got added at the second position
Okay.
and everything else moved,
Yeah.
right? So if you're adding at second position, up to first position, there is no change, correct? So first position is as it is. Second position became your 8. And then everything else just moved on by one value.
Yeah.
All right. So this is how your insert and append works. I want to insert again. Let's say I want to insert as 3 at second position. I will again say 1, 3. When I say 1, 3, okay, so latest is 3 at second position, correct? Everything else, including 8, will move one step forward.
Okay.
Okay, so this is about your adding elements to a existing list. So you have an element and you keep adding to the existing list. Now, I want you to do a program here, okay? Or I will show you tomorrow how to do it if you can. Write a program to input marks of 5 students in 5 subjects and save them as list of marks. Okay,
As a list of marks.
sorry.
Okay, nothing. Yeah, got it. I'll
Okay,
try.
yes. So you have 5 students. Each student has marks in 5 subjects. So you have 25 marks, right? But I want to save as one single list. Okay, so you'll only have marks. Okay, so
So one list for
this
each
is how it
student.
will look like. Okay, so let me finish it, then I'll take your question. So this will look something like this: one big list. Okay, inside this you will have 5 lists.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inside each you have marks. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means these are marks of one student, correct? These are marks of second student. This is for third, for fourth, and for fifth. Something like this. Okay, here you'll be using append. So using append and double for loop. That's a hint. Use nested loop, one outer loop for students, inner loop for marks, and then the inner loop will also read the value and keep appending to a list. So you will have that. Okay. Okay. Now, how do I remove an element? Okay, I want to remove it. Okay, I don't want it and I want to remove the elements. Then how do I remove the element? Okay, to remove element, again, you have couple of functions, okay, or methods rather, right? So what are the methods here? So methods, you have something called as pop and remove. So to delete elements from list, we use pop and remove. What is difference between them? So let me show you. So when I say L2 dot pop, what do you see?
Self and index.
Yes, so self I said to ignore, right? So index means it's asking for the position, which element, which position element you want to remove, isn't it? So pop uses index. It takes index. And now when I say remove, see, what does it take?
Value.
Value, correct? So here this is taking value. So if you want to remove a particular value, then we should use remove. When you want to remove an element from a given position, you should use index. So for example, okay, I will say print remove 20 from the list. Now when I say remove 20 from the list, it means like saying L2 dot remove,
Of 20.
right, of 20, right? And now when I run, what happens? Okay, you get none. You get none because this has removed it. But when you try to print it, so the end process does not return anything. So what you should do, you should put it like this, and then you print L2. That's what I've been doing like that here. Okay, your remove is not part of print, so it's not going to print it as such. It will remove it. Okay, but it's not going to print. For print, you have to print L2 after the work is done. So here work is done. Now you can print here. So see 20 is gone. Now,
Okay.
now when I say L2 dot index and I say index 3, that means fourth element in the list is deleted. So print, okay, L2 dot pop. Okay, fourth element means third index, right? Oh, already we have done it, sorry.
Mm.
Okay, so now we'll print it. Removing fourth element. So which is the fourth element here?
6.
5.
5.
Index 3, element fourth is 5, right?
Yeah.
So when you run it, what happens? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I said index.
Instead of
Put
pop.
it pop, yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yes. So now your 5 is gone.
Okay.
Okay, so you can add an element at the back, okay, at the rear of the list or anywhere in the list. Remove element based on its value. Now say, I'm saying 20, right? List can have more than 20. I mean, more than one 20s. So if I say 20, 20, 23 20s, and if I try to remove, which one will be removed?
All 3?
No, first occurrence. So it removes only one value at a time. Okay. So if you have multiple values, only the first value will be removed, not all the values.
Okay.
Only the first value is removed. All right.
Mm. Yes.
Okay. So uh, we have, okay, so there are couple of more functions which I want to do. Okay,
Mm.
so you have okay, you have clear. Clear will delete all the values. Okay, so I'll do it at the end and clear to remove all the values. Now your list will remain. Okay, so when I say L2 dot clear, so L2 after clear, your L2 is there. It's not going to say that L2 is gone.
Okay.
Okay, so but it will have blank, no values here. You see,
Okay.
if you want to delete the variable, then we use a function called del. Now, del can be used for anything, integer, float, any variable, you can say del. Del L2. Now, when I say del L2, now if I try to say print after delete, if I say L2, it will say L2 is not found, L2 is not defined, because you have deleted it. Del
Okay.
means, okay, that variable no longer exists. So when you use multiple variables, okay, in your program, and then what happens, because you'll be creating order, new ones for new work, and let's say you're not using the old one. So it will be
Mhm.
in the memory, right? It
Okay.
will be in memory in the, and that will take your space in the memory. So if you're sure that you're not going to use any variable, it's a best practice that you delete it. Not compulsory, but it is best practice so that that thing is gone from the memory, right? So let's say if I tell you, okay, forget whatever we have done for last 1 hour. So it's like deleting whatever we have done. Okay, so
Yeah.
something like that. So you're deleting your memory. You're deleting your memory. So this is like you're deleting the element from the memory so that it occupies less space in the memory.
Okay.
Okay, so this is your uh, okay del function. Okay, but before this, I want to talk about two more stuff, which is called as sort and reverse. Okay, or let me do reverse first, so then we'll do sort. So if I say here L2 dot reverse, so the elements in the list L2 after reverse will completely get reverted or reversed. So you see, it was 4, 3, 8, 6, 10, 10, 6, 8, 3, 4, 10, 6, 8, 3, 4. So elements in the list will be reversed. When you say sort, so L2 dot sort, okay?
Increasing.
Yes. So default is increasing order. So now when you print L2 after sort, okay, you get L2. Okay, so now you see it is 3, 4, 6, 8, 10 got sorted in increasing order. Now,
Okay.
if you have to sort in decreasing order,
Sort of reverse.
so yes, so you can do sort and then reverse, or you can do together. How? L2 dot sort, okay, and in the bracket you say reverse equal to true.
Okay.
Okay, sorting in reverse order. So it's like you are doing sort and then reversing it. So you say sort reverse order. So sorting in reverse order, which is decreasing order.
Okay.
So now when you say print list after reverse sorting, okay, and you say here L2. Now when you run it, so 10, 8, 6, 4, 3. Okay.
Mhm.
There's one last stuff and then we will end our discussion. Okay. So listen carefully. This is important.
Mhm.
Okay. So there's difference between what is called as copy and extend. Okay. Let's do first extend. So extend is like adding, but it's like saying L2 equal to L2 plus L3. Okay. You can do like this. See, we have done L2 equal to L1 plus L3, something like that we have done.
Yeah.
Right? We were using a different way. But when you're using extend, it's like you're adding existing element. Sorry, you're adding new list of elements to the existing list. So
Okay.
L2 equal to L2 plus L3. So L3 data will be added to L2, correct?
Okay.
Same thing, we are doing it extend. Okay, instead of doing L2 equal to L2 plus L3, we can simply say L2 dot extend. Okay, so let's say here you have L3 equal to, okay, 10, 30, 20, right? And now what I say, I'll say L2 dot extend L3. Okay, L2
Okay.
dot extend and L3. Now if you print L2 after extend and you say L2. Okay, so you have, okay, these are from your L2 sorted in decreasing order, and then you added 10, 30, 20 to it.
Okay.
Okay, then we also have something called as copy and equal to. Okay, so this is your L2, this is our L2, correct?
Yeah.
Now what I do is I'll say L5 equal to L2, and I'll say L6 equal to L2 dot copy. Now both are used to copy elements from L2 to new list. So
L6.
yeah, so if I say print 1 L2 equal to L2, and then I'll go ahead and I will add L3, L2, okay, this is L5 and this is L6, right? So I'm going to say L5, L6. Okay, now when you print it, your L2, L5, L6 all has to be same, right? We did copy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
right? All have to be same.
Okay.
Correct?
Yes.
Any questions so far here?
No.
Okay, now let's see this. Now, what I'll do here, okay, okay. Now let me add some elements to all the three. L2 dot append 77, L5 dot append 88, L6 dot append 99. Okay. Now again we will print and see the difference between the output. So I should make it as 1, 1. I'll call it as 2, 2. So 2 is after these changes. I added one element to each of the three lists that we have, 2, 5, and 6. So
Yeah.
your 1 will be same, right? That's what we saw. 1 will be same, right? All values the same. Now you
Okay.
see this and tell me, what do you notice?
But the 77 and 88 are only printed in L2 and L5.
So what does that mean?
It means, what does it mean? L6 is not equal. equal to L2. Wait, can you scroll a little bit up?
Let me do. Right? You have everything.
I wonder why. Because we use the copy function only for L6.
So what do you notice?
Isn't it the same? The print too, they're the same except for the twos.
Hmm?
Seventy-seven, 88. Okay, did L6 only carry the beginning values of the L2? Um, Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's because you said that we can equate two lists and we can like create one, single list. And because L2 is equals to L5, they carried the same values. And even if we said append two values, they carried it on. But since we said L6 is L2 dot copy of, so it only copied the primary values of L2 and only appended 99. Because L5 is equals to L2 is not equals to L6. Is that right? Or am I missing something?
Okay, good try. Good try. Okay, so what happened here is if you look at L2 and L5, they behave like as if they are same. We added 72 to L2, it got added to 75. Sorry,
Mhm.
when we added 77 to L2, it also got added to L5. When
Yeah.
we added 88 to L5, it also got added to L2. So when
Mhm.
you say equal to, okay, when you say equal to, they mean the same. We call this as shallow copy. Okay, they
Mm.
are pointing to each other. It's like giving one set of values having two names. Okay, and
Yeah.
this is where it creates a duplicate copy. So that's why L6 we added a 99 and L6 only has 99. It has no relation to 77 and 88. So when you
Oh.
want to create a totally different copy, when you want to create a totally different copy, then you
Mhm.
use comma. But if you want to create a copy, which probably doesn't make sense, I have not used much, but that's a feature which is there. Okay, if you want to, rename it's like, your brother and sister having same address. So
Mhm.
L2, like if I ask what is the address of L2, give you same address, and what is the address of your brother, it will be same address.
Yeah.
right? So it's like two having same address. So whether you ask what is the value of L2 or you ask value of L5, you'll get same thing.
Mhm.
Okay, but L6 is totally separate. Okay, so with that we come to end of our discussion on list.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we'll do more programs on this.
Sure.
So question was to read marks of 5 students in 5 subjects. Okay, so I'll do it for 3. You can just replace 3 with 5. Okay, so read marks of 3 students for 3 subjects, right? Now
Yeah.
I need to I need to know, okay, each student and their marks. So if I create a list of list, okay, then I know that these are, okay, so this entire thing is entire data, okay, and the first list is the marks of first student. This is the marks of second student. This is marks of third student, right? So I need to create a list of list, right? So let's say I put number of students equal to 3, I'll put here. You can change it to 5 later. Number of subjects, right? You can put 3 here. Now I will say, okay, for I in range, okay, 3. Okay. Now this is your marks list. Okay, so I'll call it as marks equal to blank. This is what same variable you have used. I'll say for I in range 3. Now I will read marks. Okay, I'll say m equal to int of input. Enter the marks in. Okay, enter the marks. Okay, I'll just use like this. Enter the marks. Okay, and then I will add it to the marks dot append and I'll put m here. So what happens once you print here, you will get marks, right?
Yeah.
So this will be marks of one student,
Yeah.
okay? Whatever, 55, 44, 66. This is marks of first student. I need to do it for 3 students. So this entire thing, okay, number of subjects I'll put here. Okay. Now this entire thing should be repeated, right? So I'll use for j in range and you have number of students, right? And this entire thing should be repeated. So this entire thing is getting repeated. But then what happens? This marks will again be reset after inner loop. So I need
Yeah.
to have, okay, master list, right? Which will have all the information. So once you are done with this marks with inner loop, before you run the outer loop, okay, so marks is here and this I will keep on adding values to the marks. Once this I loop is done, before you start the J loop, I will say master dot append marks. That's it. And then here you will say master, not marks. So when you run it, enter the marks 45, 44. Yeah, sorry, I'm back now. This guy, for blood test, this guy is coming.
Okay.
So this is your master marks, right? So if I keep on adding, okay, so now you see, this is your student 1, this is your student 2, this is your student 3, right? I can print this way as well, okay? Print for I in range, okay? I in range, number of students, okay? So let me put this. Okay, let's say we'll go only with number of students. So for I in range, okay, number of students, I'll say here, print marks for each student is, right? And now you simply will print here, print your master of I. Okay, so this is, once you read it, you can print it in any way. Okay, so when you run it here, now if I have to enter 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. So you see, marks for each student. Okay,
Okay.
right? So, so it gives you marks for each student. Now I can create something like this. I can create subjects. Okay, so let's say maths,
Mhm.
physics, chemistry. Okay, and
Mhm.
then I say students equal to Rohit, Surya, Virat. Okay, so
Okay.
now I can say that, okay, now this is for student, right? This
Mhm.
is for student, right? And this will be for first student. So I'll say print accepting marks for the student, okay, student. And here you can say students of J, because once J is 0, it will be for Rohit. For J is 2, it will be for 1, it will be Surya. For J equal to 2, it will be for Virat. So it can show you this. I can also give here, enter the marks, okay, and I can say enter the marks in subject, okay, in subject, or enter the marks in, I can here say plus, okay, you have subjects of I. So when I is 0, that means I'm reading subject for maths. When I is 1, I'm reading subject for physics. I can say I here, and I can give colon. Okay. Okay. Now when you run it, okay, and see accepting marks for student Rohit. Enter the marks in maths mark. Okay. What I can even do is I can give a tab space here. Okay. So that you can actually slash teach for tab space. It will print tab number of spaces. So see, accepting marks for student, and you have the space here because we gave tab. Enter the marks maths, 45, physics mark 56, 89. Enter the marks for student Surya, right? 98, 56, 45. Marks for Virat, 90, 87, 65. Okay, so you got these values. Now, okay, now we'll stop here for today. I want to give you an assignment here.
Okay.
Assignment is, after reading these marks, you need to tell me toppers for each subject. Who is the topper for maths? Okay, so, okay,
Mhm.
extend the above program to find overall topper and each subject topper with marks. Okay, so in this case, if you see, overall topper probably is Virat, right?
Yeah.
Okay, probably. Okay, you can calculate with Virat. Now, topper for each subject. For maths, it is Surya. So you'll say Surya with 98. Maths topper, Surya 98 marks.
Yeah.
Then you have second, physics is Virat. And third is chemistry is Rohit.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll end it here. And
Okay.
you you do this, and tomorrow we'll fix this, and then we will move on to the new topic. Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank
Bye,
you.
but no problem. Bye. Okay, so now we'll talk about another data type called as tuple. Okay. Now we saw list as something which is linear, linear, ordered, mutable collection. That was list, right?
Mhm.
Tuple will become immutable. That's the only difference. That means once you create a list, you can edit the list values, but you cannot do it for tuple. Tuple is similar to string. For example, if I say L1 equal to 45, 55, 65, okay, I can clearly say, but before print, L1 of 0, okay, that means I want to change the first value to 35. I'll say
Mhm.
35. So now when you print L1, comma L1, okay, you will see that it prints the new value here. Now, same thing if I have to do for tuple 1. By the way, tuple is declared using simple bracket. Okay, so we use square bracket for declare or implementing our indexing also and list also. Simple bracket we use for doing mathematical operation, right? We have to perform addition, subtraction, or any of those mathematical operation. We use simple bracket, right? If you have to put them together, we use bracket. And here also, okay, we use simple bracket, okay. And in this, okay, you add, let's say, I give 45, 55, 65. And now if I try to change T1 of 0 to 35, this itself will throw error. Okay, because it is immutable, it does not, okay, exactly the same error you will get when you try to do string. So you cannot, you know, it does not allow us to edit the values. So this is like okay, this is like your, not sorry, not there. Yeah, this is like your uneditable list. Okay, but the best thing is you can easily convert it into list. So if I want to make some changes, I will convert T1 to list of T1. Okay, so this is how you convert data, or you convert list data to tuple, or rather reverse, right? You are converting tuple data to, okay, now
Yes.
how do you know it's tuple? You can do a print here. Print type of T1. Okay, and here you can say type of T1. Now here you will say, I will put 1 here to differentiate between this part and another part. And here I'm going to say 2 dot type of T1. So when you run it, you know, first one it says tuple, right? Because we declared using simple bracket. Now here it says list because we used square bracket. We used square bracket. So this is declared as list. Okay,
Okay.
right. So you can convert list to tuple. Now if you want to add, you can say here, instead of L1, we'll say T1. And now you convert it back to tuple. So I will say T1 equal to tuple. Okay. Now when you do type of T1, okay, you will see that it is tuple. And if you print T1, okay, so see, instead of 45, it now has 35. So you can convert a tuple to list to a tuple. Okay, so treat tuple as uneditable version of list. You can't edit it. So the moment when you say, anyway, T1 is tuple now, right? The moment you say T1 dot, you see, you only have two functions. Life is so easy, right? Here you don't have to remember all those functions. You only have count and index. Count will tell you how many times the value is there occurring, and index will tell you the index of the first occurrence. Index of the first occurrence. So here I'll say count 35, and when you print it, it will tell you 1, right? And when I say index of 35, you will get 0, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you declare an empty tuple? You declare an empty tuple, something
With
like
a
this. Empty,
parenthesis.
yes. And if I have to add one member, just one member, okay? So if I have to add just one member, and if I say 2, okay? The problem here is, okay, I'll say a dot type and type of T2. And okay, let me make this here also. And here I'll call this as P. So let's see. So when you declare as empty parenthesis, it says tuple. But when you declare with one single value, it says integer.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how we declare in mathematical thing, right? So when you have only one value to declare in a tuple, see, if you have no values to declare, if you want to create an empty tuple, this is fine. But if you have to create tuple with one value, okay, you have to add comma here to indicate that it's tuple. Otherwise, it will treat this as integer or whatever you give, string or whatever, right? So this is only one extra thing that you have to remember, that if it is just one value, you have to give comma here. But it's okay if you have two values, okay? You don't have to do anything extra for two values. You will say 2 comma 6, this is fine. But only when you have one value to declare as tuple, it's extra step you have to perform. Okay, so this is how tuples are generally used. One concept here which I want to talk about is called packing unpacking. So when you put multiple things together like this, okay, or like this, both it's true with list as well as tuple. This is called packing. You're packing multiple values together as one variable, right? You have unpacking as well. Okay. What does that mean? So if I say T1 equal to 45, 55, 65, I can say A comma B comma C equal to T1. Okay, this is called unpacking. That means, okay, so declaring is like packing. You are packing multiple things in one suitcase. Suitcase name is T1. Now you remove the item from T1 and you put them separately in 3 different variables. Okay, this is called unpacking. Now, since it has 3, okay, how do you know it has 3? You can print using len. So len works here also. Okay, len of T1. And if you have 3, you have to use 3 variables. You cannot use 2, you cannot use 4. Exactly same number of variables you need to have. Okay, so when you run it, okay, you have ABC, and now you can print ABC, right? I can print A comma B comma C. You see this, after len, you have a value. So this is called unpacking. Okay, you convert one multiple set of values into 3 different values. Okay, now one more concept, and then we will end tuple here. It's called comparing the values. How do you compare the values? So now you tell me, if I create T3 equal to 4, 5, 6, and I create T4 as 4199. Which one is bigger? T3 is bigger or T4 is bigger?
T4.
No, T1, T3, okay? It will compare first value with first value. So if it compares first value with first value, they are same, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then it goes and compare next value, 5 and 1. So now you know that T3 is bigger. So T3 will be bigger. It doesn't matter what you have here. You may not even have anything here. Okay. So
Okay.
when you see that, this is okay, you got an answer here, you will stop. Right, first it's 4, 4, right? So equal. So
Mhm.
it will go to the next one. 5 and 1. And this is like dictionary, okay? Totally like dictionary. So if you are searching for um, okay, if you are searching for a word like, let's say, TZ80. Let's say there is a word called TZ80, and there is a word
Mhm.
called EAAR, let's say, right? Or EAR, right? At least this makes sense. Now, which will come first in the dictionary?
Hmm?
Which will come first in the dictionary,
DZ. The
right? This
yeah.
one, right? Because this has so exactly same concept is used here for comparing. Okay, like dictionary.
Okay.
So you will compare first and first letter. You don't compare the other letters. This
Mhm.
is D, so obviously D will come before E, irrespective
Yeah.
of what is second or third or fourth letter is, right? So
Yeah.
same comparison is done here, and that's why T3 will be greater than T4. T3 will come before. I mean, T3 is greater than T4. Okay.
Yeah.
So with that, we complete our tuple discussion. Next, we
Okay.
will go to the third topic, okay, or third collection that we have. This is called as dictionary.
Mhm.
Now, dictionary is also a collection. Okay, this is also a collection. This is also mutable, like list. Okay, this is also in a way linear, but this is unordered. That means there is no order to this. So indexing. Okay, if you have to index about tuple, right? If you have to get last element, so you will say T4 of -1, right? This is how you do indexing of a tuple, very similar to the way you will index a list or a string, right?
Yeah.
Sorry. So, put this so that, yeah. So the way you would index tuple is very similar to the way you will index a string or a list. Because it's ordered collection, so every element has a order of itself.
Mhm.
Okay, so we know which is the first element, which is the second element, which is the third element. But when you talk about dictionary, there is no such order. Okay, it does not take order by itself. We have to give the order also. We have to give the order also means we have to tell them, okay, what is first, what is second, what is third, etc. Okay, so dictionary is an ordered mutable collection with key value pair. Key value pair. That means it needs to have key, it needs to have value. In list and tuple, we only gave value, we never gave key. We
Mhm.
never gave key because key is automatically 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Key is automatically 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the key. Okay. But here we have to give key. We have to indicate index, okay, as a key. So how does it work? So if I have to declare a value here, let's say D1, okay. Sorry. So you have square bracket for list, you have simple bracket for tuple. The third, what is left? Curly bracket, right? Flower bracket or curly bracket. This curly
Yes.
bracket is used for declaring a dictionary. Okay. So now
Okay.
if I go and I say print D1 type equal to, and you say type of D1, okay, you get dictionary.
Okay.
Okay, you get dictionary. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, how do you give values to it? Okay, so you give values as key colon value. So you give key colon value. So key, I want to make it as 5. Colon value is, let's say, hello. So key colon value, right? Now here in indexing, Okay, it is very much like indexing, but instead of giving 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, you have to give the key here. What is the key? 5. 5.
Okay.
Okay, so you get hello. I can give another value, comma, I can say hello. Now in this case, you see, hello is on the left side. That means hello becomes key.
Mhm.
I give value as Sachin Tendulkar. Okay, now you can say print D1 of hello. See, there is no last and first here because it is unordered. So I cannot say, give me the last value or give me the first value. There is no concept of first and last here. You'll ask me, tell me which key you want. You want 5, or you want hello, you want name, you want city. Okay.
Okay.
So you have to give values like this. Okay. I can say runs colon 25,000, right? I can use number as key, I can use string as key. Okay, doesn't
Mhm.
matter. Any value you can even use list also. Okay, you can use list or tuple as key, you can use list or tuple as values. Everything that you have learned so far, you can use as tuple, sorry, you can use as key or as value. Absolutely no problem. Only thing that to remember is the keys have to be unique.
Mhm.
Values is okay, value can be duplicated, but key cannot be duplicated. I cannot say 5 comma colon colon 5 and here, 5 colon raw, let's say Mumbai or something. I cannot use that. If I use it, what happens? Okay, you see, it gives you the latest value because it's like overwriting. So first you said hello, and now you're saying 5 is Mumbai. So it's like you're overwriting. It is mutable collection, right? So it
Mhm.
overwrites it. So when I say 5 colon hello and then I say 5 colon Mumbai, it's like I'm saying replace this with this, right? So that's why you get only one value Mumbai. You don't get the first, you lose the first value.
Okay. So it matters which side of the column they're on.
Yes.
Okay.
Left side of colon is key and right side of colon is value.
Value.
Okay, so
Okay.
yes, it matters. Okay, key and
Mm.
key and values are different. All right.
Mhm.
So this is how you declare key and value. Obviously, okay, if you uh, if you you just like the way we have done for list and tuple. See, tuple also you can do for loop, right? I can say here for I in T4,
Mhm.
and then I can say print I, correct? So I
Yeah.
will be the values here. You can do it here also, but here there's something called as key, value, and items. Okay, so you have
Okay.
words like keys, values, and items. So if you say here keys, what are the keys? I want to print only the keys. So I'll say D1 dot keys. I want to print only values. I'll say print values D1 dot values. I want both key and value. So I'll say items. Okay. D1 dot items. Now when you run it, okay, so you see, these are your keys, 5, hello, and runs. 5, hello, and runs. These are the keys. Values are Mumbai, Sachin Tendulkar, 25,000. Key,
Mhm.
comma, value, items. So it is a list of tuples. You see, it's a list, and each of these values are tuple. Here, all of these are list. Keys are list, values are list, items are also list. But items will have two values. It's in key, comma, value. 5, comma,
Mhm.
Mumbai. Hello, comma, Sachin. Runs, comma, 25. So they
Okay.
are given as tuple here. Okay. So when you're performing loop, You can go over the keys, you can go over the values, or you can go over items. I can
Okay.
say something like this for I comma j. Now I'm using I comma j because items, okay, d1 dot items will have two values. So I'm going to read I as key and j as values. So I can use something like k comma v to indicate that it is k and this is v. So print k v equal to k comma v. Or if you want to add colon, you can add colon. Okay, so key 5:5 Mumbai. Okay, you can access each key or value. So instead of items, you replace with values. Now values will have only one value. So key comma v will fail there because it will only give you v. Okay, so you can iterate through keys. You can iterate through, I can create something like this here. For key in d1 dot keys, so you have k. Keys, we only look at key, right? You can have values. You can access only values if you want to.
Okay.
Okay, you can access KV, you can access only K, you can access only V. Okay. If you have two dictionaries, D2 equal to, let's say, 3 comma 6 comma 9, and obviously you need to have value, right? So I say 3, 6, 9, right? And I create D3, okay, and I'll give here 1, 2, 4. Okay. Now when I print D2 plus D3, okay, what happens? Okay, you get exit code 1. Okay, you cannot, where's the error? You cannot simply add two dictionaries together. You cannot add two dictionaries together. You cannot say D1 plus D2. Okay. If you want to merge them together, we have a function called update. Okay. If you want to merge them together, you have to say update. So I want to merge them in D2. So I will use D2 dot update and then you add D3. So this is how you add two dictionaries together. Okay. Dictionaries can be added to a dictionary only. Okay. It cannot be added to an individual number. Of course, because it needs key and value, right? So since I use D2 dot, so first you see there you have D2 values. And to this D3 got added. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is to add or merge two dictionaries. Okay. Yes, you can multiply. Okay, so I can say print D2 dot 3. Okay. So when you do D2 dot 3, okay, so what happened? Again, it said it cannot be multiplied. Now, so if I have to repeat it 3 times, what should I do? I need to say D2 dot merge, right? Or that is update, right? D2, right? So this will give us updated values, which is 369, okay? Okay, sorry. I need to do this here, right? Now, can you tell me why multiplication is not allowed? Why multiplication is not allowed? We did multiplication, right? Okay, let's run this and see what happens. What happened here? When I try to merge D2 with D2, what happens? See, in tuple, in list, okay, it was possible. Okay, tuple is not possible because tuple is immutable. In list, it was possible because you have
Mhm.
values and you can repeat the values multiple times, right?
Yeah,
Here
and
you
here we
see,
can't repeat the
you
values.
have keys, right?
Yeah,
Okay, and keys have to be unique.
yeah.
Okay, so there you have lot of keys. I mean, you have keys there. Can you have dictionary with two different keys? No. Okay,
Mhm.
that's why, okay, updating to itself is not a good idea. Okay, I mean, you get same itself. D2 dot update D2 will get same answer. It will not repeat two times. It will not, because keys are same, right? If keys are same, you cannot, have different values, right? That's what we saw earlier. So that's why the concept of multiplying or updating with self does not exist. I mean, multiplication does not exist. Update you can, but there's no point doing that. Okay,
Mhm.
right. So for now, we'll stop here.
Okay.